In this video tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create a folder share, and then we will be testing that share access using a different computer, and then we will work with some of the basic NTFS permissions. So the first thing we want to do is create the folder that we want to share. We do this by clicking on Start, and then All Programs. We go under Accessories, and Windows Explorer. Then we navigate to the computer icon, and then the local disk C. I'm going to right click and create a new folder, and we're going to title this folder Accounting. Then we're going to open up the folder, and we're going to create what is called a new rich text document. We're just going to title it Budget, and then we're going to open it up and then type in just some text, just so it's not empty. Then we're going to save it. We're going to close out of it. The next thing we're going to do is back out of that and right click on the accounting folder we just created and go to Properties. Then we click Sharing and Advanced Sharing, and just click Continue. We want to check where it says Share this folder. Then we're going to change the default value from Accounting to Spreadsheets. I'm going to go to Permissions, and then we're going to change the permissions for everyone, and we're going to uncheck where it says Read. And now we're going to add some groups. First we're going to add the domain admins group, and we're going to click check names just so the system can recognize it. And click OK, and as you can see, it's added. And we're going to assign full access to this group. And now we're going to add domain users to the group list. We're going to click check names again just so we can formalize it, and click OK. Then we're just going to assign just the read access to this group. I'm going to click OK and OK, just to get out of all this. Now, in order to test that we can successfully share files, we first have to create a test user account. So we're going to go to the Active Directory user and computer menu, and we're going to add a new user. So we right click on users and click new and then user. And then we're just going to call the user01, nothing fancy, just something to serve its purpose. And the logon name is going to be user01 as well. Click next, and we're going to use the standard password that our lab manual tells us to use. We're going to uncheck user must change password at next logon, and then password never expires. Then we're going to go next and finish. Now we're just going to create a new group so that we can put this user in it so the user is just not out on its own. I'm just going to call it group 01 and leave the default settings as it is. We're going to click OK. And then we're going to go into user 01 properties and add it to the group. We click on member of, we click add, and then we just type in the group name that we just created, which is group 01, and we click check names again just to formalize it, and we click OK. And as you can see, user 01 has been added to the group 01 group. Now we have moved over to a different virtual machine, a 2020 server 02, and as you can see, user 01 is the current user I'm logged in as. And right now we're just going to navigate to where the shared folder is. Now we have to go to network and 2020 server 01 because that is where the file is hosted. We click the folder that was contained, and we double click budget, which is the rich text document that we created. And just to verify that some of the share permissions that we set earlier are in fact working, we're going to try to modify this and save it. As you can see, we were denied it. Now if we go try to delete the file as well, it won't let us do that either because we were only assigned privileges to read the files. And here I demonstrate me trying to delete it, and can't do it, access denied. At this point, I'm going to log off of my partner server, and then I'm going to log on again on the same virtual machine using the student account, which has admin privileges. Now I'm logged into the Student1 account, which has full access to the file that we just tried to open in the User01 account, but we were unable to because we did not have the proper permissions. Now as I navigate back to the same file, you will be able to see that I can successfully edit the file and save it. Now I have logged back on to our Server 01 computer, and we're going to navigate to the folder which the budget file was contained in. Now we're going to work with some of the NTFS permissions, and we go to the folder that we created and right click and go to Properties. Then we're going to go to the Security tab of this dialog box that just popped up. Now we're going to add group 01 to this group or usernames list. Now if you remember, group 01 is the group that we created to put the user01 account into it. So you can see it's been added. Now we want to edit the permissions for group 01, and we want to give group 01 full control. Then we're just going to click OK and then OK. Now we're going to go right back to the accounting folder on our Student1 account. Then we're going to right click and go to Properties. We're going to go to the Sharing tab. We're going to click Advanced Sharing and continue. And then we're going to go to Permissions, and we're going to add our group 01 to the group or usernames list. Now we're going to select the group and give them the change permission as well. And then we're going to OK and close to exit out of the dialog box. And now we're going to make our way back over to Server 02 computer, a virtual machine. And we're going to go to the Network tab, and then we're going to go and open up the budget file. And then we're going to go ahead and try to modify it once again. And then since we set all the permissions that we needed to, we will be able to successfully modify this file. As you can see, we just did. Now, Contoso's sharing guidelines call for all access control to be performed using NTFS permissions, not share permissions. So we're going to have to go into the accounting folder and change all of the sharing permissions. And we get to that right like this. And we change these permissions to full control for all of these three groups. As you can see, domain admins already has full control. So we're going to change domain users to have full control and group 01 to have full control. There's OK and OK to close out of this. Then we're going to go to Security tab and make sure that domain users have only the allow read and execute, allow list folder contents, and allow read NTFS permissions. We're going to make sure domain admins have full control. And then we're going to make sure group 01 has only allow modify, read execute, list folder contents, read and write permissions. This concludes the video tutorial for Lab 2 in INTC 2020. See you next time.